Good afternoon, sir. My name is Abigail Bailey, Part 2 and Microbiology Department. And this is my short presentation for Lab 5. And in Lab 5, I was given a Python programming task, which is to extract metadata from a GenBank. So for this task, the Python IDE I used is the Python CodePad on iOS. And to solve this task, I extracted useful metadata from a GenBank file, such as the accession number, the definition, the organism, and locus name. Normally, I could have used the BioPython library, but because I was using CodePad on mobile, I had to do it manually by treating the GenBank file like plain text. So I created a small GenBank text sample in a multi-line string variable in Python. Then I used a loop to go through each line and use simple string functions like dot start with in round brackets and dot stripe in bracket to check if a line had the metadata I needed. So for example now in the number two line 2, if a line starts with locus, I printed the locus name, and if it started with definition as found in number 3, I printed the gene description. And if I found the organism line, I extracted the organism's name like found in 8 and 9. Then I displayed each of these using print in round brackets to simulate how metadata would be extracted in a real bioinformatics tool. So this approach actually worked well for a mobile environment and helped me to understand how GenBank data is formatted under this hood. And I went through some difficulties in getting the script done. Then because the Python CodePad does not support external libraries like PyPython, I was initially expected to use the sec IO, but had to rewrite it to work without importing anything. So, and running, this is the output of the code. This is the output of the code. This is what I got. And when running the code was on mobile, it worked perfectly. It worked without giving me syntax, unlike the libraries that I inputted, like the Python libraries external libraries I inputted for this code. The other codes I've used, it was giving me syntax. It was telling me that the word bow is not found, but after creating a code without importing external library, it gave me the output worked very well. It came out once, and it's a cool way to it's very cool. It felt amazing, and it's a cool way to learn how to undo biological data even on the go. And this, I feel like this question is practical, and it made me think of how reward reward use cases like DNA data analysis. Like it was challenging, but it was very rewarding. Thank you, sir. Good afternoon, sir. My name is Abigail Bailey, Part 2 and Microbiology Department. This is my short presentation for Lab 6. In Lab 6, I was given a Python programming task, which is to take turbidity readings as string like 3.2, 4.0, 2.8, and compute their average. My approach was I asked the user to input a comma separated list of numbers. Then I split that using dot split in bracket quotes to quote with a comma. Then I convert each value. Reading dot split as found in number 5. Then I convert each value. I converted each value to a float using a list comprehension. Then I used sum in bracket, like in number as found in line 11, the sum, turbidity, float, and the length to calculate the average. And finally, I print the result using round in bracket to format it to 2 decimal places. So this task helped me to connect string and manipulation and numerical operations in a real world scenario, for example in water quality analysis or environmental monitoring systems. My reflection over this is that overall I enjoy working on both questions, both on lab 5 and lab 6. The first question, which is lab 5, which is on GenBank. It taught me about how biological data is structured and how to manually pass it even without even using external libraries. And lab 6 task was quick and practical. It gave me confidence in handling input, conversion, and calculations in one clean flow. The most challenging part was testing everything on a phone ID like CodePad, especially since I couldn't use file input or libraries like BioPython. But adapting the logic to work with plain text and mobile-friendly code made it a great learning experience. For the lab 6, the most difficult challenging parts in this lab 6 was that first I accidentally entered values with extra spaces and I did not strip them, and that caused value error when trying to convert to float. So once I added the strip in round bracket with the round brackets, it worked perfectly. And this is my output. The output was so clean and it was amazing. It felt cool, and this is the results. This is the output. So I inputted 2 points. I inputted numbers like 3.2 and 3.2 3.2 4.0 2.8, and this is what I get as the average. The average turbidity reading gave me 3.33. This is my output. Thank you for watching.